The story of Stoop is legend, passed down from grade to grade for over 6 years. And our own Gerald is the keeper of the tale. Go ahead, Gerald. Tell it. The legend of Stoop here.
But yeah, like I was saying, I'm a little annoyed that my controllers are still not working very well.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not that I have like shitty luck with controllers. It's just that they always end up tilting just forward a little bit.
I don't know, especially the Xbox, enough to like mark as to what's going wrong there.
No, I think it's more of just wear and tear on the controller.
With excuse me.
Yeah, there you go.
I
Get the yawn
can't
out.
wait to be rich enough to have a studio with yawn and cough buttons, because like professional audio studios will have buttons that you can hold down that cuts out the sound of your mic when you cough or yawn.
That's pretty cool.
Which is why people just sound perfect all the time on recordings.
I sound perfect all the time in recording.
I sound terrible most of the time.
That's not true. Well, that's not true, but also it's not true that I sound I sound glorious.
I didn't mean terrible so much in the sense of like my radio voice, but like I just have a lot of like the imperfections in my radio shows that because we were a college station that I just couldn't edit out.
Yeah.
Well, I can edit
feel
them
that.
out, but I couldn't like ignore during the time.
That's all right. Thankfully, we can edit whatever we want with this.
Oh yeah, now it's fine.
Because
we're not
this
live.
is Dingus and the Stoopcast. I am your friendly neighborhood Dingus. Hanging out with me on my stoop today is one of my good buddies, Sam Fritz.
It's a rainy stoop day.
Every time, well, so far, every time, this being the second time, I always ask people what they want to be called, because, some people like to, use their gamer tag or like a call sign or whatever they have. I don't know, nerd language. But, I don't know if you want to be called anything or if you just want to be Sam Fritz. Sam.
I want to be called Satchmo.
Yeah?
But I feel like I will eventually forget that I wanted to be called that and just go back to being called Sam.
I can call you Satchmo.
Satchmo or any variation of like Satchy.
All right. So today we're here with our good friend Satchmo.
Satchmo.
Yeah. But yeah, so
I like that because it makes it seem like I'm actually really formal and I want to go by my last name.
So, I was thinking about this a little while ago, and I'm sure almost no one else has thought of this. But what fast food company do you think is the biggest liar? Because here's how this came into my mind. I was watching a commercial for Taco Bell, and what they were advertising was a really nice big like quesalupa whatever that had a thick layer of meat. There was a whole bunch of cheese and stuff on there. I was like, I know damn well that is not what that looks like when I get it at 2 a.m.
I would actually say that Taco Bell is probably closer to honest than most fast food companies.
They're like, yeah, it's shit.
Yeah, because Taco Bell doesn't really, at least to in my experience, they don't present themselves as like high quality food.
Yeah,
they think they're cool and like, yo, look at this quesadilla that we stuffed inside of a burrito that we stuffed inside of a nacho. Like, they think they're cool, but they're not lying to you. They just think the way they do it is cool.
So then who would you say is the biggest liar out of all
Burger King.
Burger King? That's
no
a pretty
joke,
good one.
Burger King. And nothing, I still really like their food, so that's not a knock on Burger King.
Mm-hmm. But
I see the way that they, Burger King does those commercials of like 100% fresh beef and 100% all natural farm raised chicken. Right. And I'm like, not a chance, dude. I eat that, not a chance. I go to McDonald's, which is they're like basically their competitor. Everybody has the McDonald's to the Burger King, right? I go to McDonald's and I eat their chicken and I eat their burgers. I'm like, this, like, even though they're probably lying to me, tastes like they're at least making an effort to disguise it.
That's
Burger King.
true.
I'm like, no, you just shat out a burger and decided to put it in front of me.
I think another big liar.
Also, it is factual that the grill marks on their patties are fake.
Is it?
Yes.
That's upsetting. but I think another big liar is probably Domino's. Only because Domino's is like a nice fresh pizza, just like one from, any other regular pizza shop in town. But this one's a chain. And it's like, oh, I can tell.
No, that's true. I'll say that I do think Domino's, even if they are mega liars in the way they present themselves, definitely turned things around with their pizza as of like 2010 or something, or 12. And they even made commercials about it, like, look, we got it. We were the worst ranked pizza in the United States. Well, look at us now. We're the best. And I'm like, well, you're not the best, but you're certainly much better. Like, their pizza did improve around that time.
Yeah, that's true. I think Domino's is such a dangerous game with me because I can go from like, boy, this is delicious to, oh my god, I'm going to crap my pants in the span of maybe like one slice of pizza, a half slice of pizza maybe.
I always, for Domino's, I didn't switch, did it? I wanted it to.
Yeah, it's okay.
For Domino's, there we go. Get there. What's the one? Oh shoot, where's the controller or the charger?
It's under there. I see it. We're gonna cut this out.
Yeah, of course. Anyways, so now back to my hot take on Domino's. I get there. What's the pan pizza? I get their pan pizza, and their pan pizza is pretty reliable as far as like quality.
Right.
The crust. Well, even though there's not really a crust, that's kind of the whole point. Their crust is almost always like better. It's really buttery. It's that good buttery flavor. And then
I like how you had to say flavor.
Flavor. Man, it's the inner Parappa the Rapper fan in me.
Yeah.
I got all the people from a flavor, which
Nice.
makes no sense, by the way. None of Parappa the Rapper makes sense, but the one where you have to rap with the octopus beautician, least sense.
Well, he probably was hanging out with Tony Rooney from Lego Island.
To be fair, there should be a Tony Roney in Parappa the Rapper. Like, that is just absolutely in their wheelhouse.
Well, there is the pizza chain Tony Rooney's, right?
Yeah, oh, dude, I go there every time. I'm up here.
My brother used to work there.
I
That's
go there,
pretty
I
fun.
grab myself a chicken cheesesteak with hot sauce, not buffalo chicken cheesesteak, because their buffalo sauce uses blue ranch, or blue cheese, sorry.
Oh, I love blue cheese on my wings.
So, like, I'm not, like, super adamant against it, but I just prefer the straight sting of hot sauce, as opposed to, like, and, like, sometimes there's sweet hot sauces, and that's okay. But I prefer that spicy spice.
No, see, I think like blue cheese or ranch is just a perfect balancer. It doesn't take away from the heat, but it's a pretty like good tasting cool down.
So, well, and for the audience, they need to know that I have a reason to no longer desire the cool down.
Oh yeah, you like hot things. I forgot.
With my lack of sense of smell, just burning my taste buds off feels amazing.
It's like Pop Rocks, except worse for you.
Have you ever done Pop Rocks and Coke?
Like crack cocaine? No, I haven't done that. But no, I have tried it. Because, you heard the rumor growing up as a kid, like, oh, if you drink a Coke and have, Pop Rocks,
your head explodes.
Yeah, or something like that. Like
at least the Indiana tradition was always to say your head explodes.
that was your head explodes?
Yeah.
It was that your stomach would, like, fill up with all the foam and it would pop.
And your head explodes.
Oh, and your head explodes. Yeah, I forgot that part.
I feel like I heard that one too, but I know, at least in my inner circle, the crew was always saying, nah, dude, your head explodes.
They did a Mythbusters with that. And
that was the last episode of Mythbusters.
Yeah, all of their heads exploded.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah, R.I.P. No, but they actually did one for the Mentos and Coke, and they did it with like a pig's stomach, and it just like held all the foam. I was like, that's pretty impressive.
That would be like if somebody. Do you think if somebody drank some or ate some Mentos, and then drank some Diet Coke, like it would just like regurgitate right back up?
That's possible.
Good thing this is an audio podcast, because if there was video to accompany this, we'd have lost all of our viewers.
I'll do a Photoshop real quick.
Do a real quick Photoshop? a real quick shop job?
Yeah. Do a little shippy top bop chop.
Little chip chop shop job.
Yeah, one of them. But so going back to the restaurants, I started thinking about. I'm really unlucky with a few certain restaurants. One of them being any Subway ever. I don't know why, but Subway just like does not agree with my stomach at all. So it will absolutely just make me have to go to the bathroom 10 times a day.
Two things, one related, one slightly related.
Right.
Thing one, I don't agree with Subway. I think Subway is maybe one of the worst places to get a sandwich ever.
Yeah. Well, I'm at that agreement right now.
I'm on a real big Jersey Mike's kick because Jersey Mike's makes a real mean chicken cheesesteak.
Right.
And it's above average quality. Like, I'm not getting top tier, clearly.
Right.
But it's definitely decent in the way that it agrees with my stomach and it tastes good. Second thing, still related to Subway. You're familiar with Jared the Diddler, correct?
Yeah, that's what he's known as now.
Yes. Jared lived in Indiana, where I was from.
Oh,
And
yeah?
No joke, 100%.
Did he touch you?
No, well, no, but no joke, 100% true story. I was inside of the house that he was arrested from before he lived there.
Dang.
One of my friends in 4th grade, the area of Indiana that I grew up in has either very middle class people, and then the outskirts have very rich people.
Right.
And the one friend who I would hang out with a lot, he lived in a pretty nice house. Like, we're talking 6-figure, easy, maybe like $300,000, $400,000 house.
Right.
And he moved to California in 4th grade, and Jared moved in after that. Now, I never went back to that house after, but I
Too many
can say
bad memories of Jared.
Yeah, I was in the house that Jared decided to.
That AJ Styles built.
That AJ Styles. I was in Jared's house before Jared was in Jared's house, I guess is the best way to put it.
You're like famous.
I actually wish that I'd still lived in Zionsville when he had his local celebrity. I mean, clearly not now that I know the dirtbag person that he is. Like,
you would have been real good friends with him.
Well, that's the thing, is that before we knew he was a bad person, I feel
Yeah.
like Jared had this persona of being approachable and friendly, and he seemed like the kind of guy that everyone was trying to just be like, haha, Subway, how's your kids? How's life? What are you doing tomorrow?
Maybe that's the thing. Subway keeps asking about my kids, and I don't have any, and that might have been my first clue.
But I don't know. I like, of course, in hindsight, but I also think that a lot of people who, before they know what they know now, would be like, yeah, that makes sense. And then a lot of people post would be like, geez, Sam, I can't believe you'd even think that.
Right.
No,
yeah, I feel that. I don't know. But yeah, fucking Subway just tears me up. And I don't know what it is, but it's one of my least favorite things to eat now.
No, I would stay away from Subway at all
Yeah.
costs.
You were talking about cheesesteaks, though. What's the best cheesesteak you've ever had?
Well, so Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the place. It wasn't Pat or Gino's. It wasn't. I'm not in that debate. And also, a lot of actual Philadelphians will say that that's not even the real debate.
Yeah.
Also, for the last at least 2 years, I'd say that I've only eaten chicken cheesesteaks because
Right.
I'm trying to cut out as much red meat as possible.
Okay.
And you'll actually notice that a lot of the times, if you pay attention to my eating habits, I'm getting chicken. Like the other day when we went to Wawa, I got a chicken sandwich instead
Right.
of beef because I'm just trying to like take out beef as much as possible.
Right. That makes sense.
But my best, like back when I was eating red meat like hardcore,
All the time.
Yeah, all the time, just
My
every
favorite
day,
snack.
every meal. My brother, when he had just gotten out of the Air Force actually, and he was living up here in Philadelphia, and he took me to some local cheesesteak place, and I can't remember the name of it, but I absolutely can remember that was the best cheesesteak I ever had.
Nice. Mine is 100% Steve's Steaks.
Mhm.
There's 2 locations. I would not be able to tell you where they are in Philadelphia, but there's 2 locations in Philadelphia, and it is 100% the best cheesesteak I've ever had in my entire life because I mean, the only times I really want just a regular cheesesteak with American cheese and onions is at like 3 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the fact that that's when Steve's is open.
Can I say the most surprising place where I've had a cheesesteak that I enjoyed was Outback Steakhouse.
Yeah?
Now, it wasn't a fantastic cheesesteak. It wasn't like it reinvented the gosh darn wheel. But I ordered it thinking it'll probably be not that great, but it was cheap, and I was in the mood for one. I ate it. Surprisingly good. Would it be my go-to there? No, I'd probably still get like a steak or some shrimp or something. But
just 2 whole bloomin' onions.
actually, I actually am not a fan of bloomin' onions. But
Really?
I don't like onions.
I love onion. No, but see, I think the most surprising place that I've ever had a cheesesteak was, it was probably, someplace in fucking Florida. Like, weirdly enough. Well, not kind of weirdly. It was in the middle of spring, and it was in or around Clearwater. So it was right when the Phillies were, doing their spring training. And
they probably have a couple of smart business people down there like, let's bring some Philadelphia down here.
Yeah, exactly.
Because this is how Floridians talk.
Yeah.
Real mob-like.
We're all Floridian here. This is what we sound like.
What would you say? And don't just limit it to the United States. Give me the whole world. Your favorite accent and your most annoying accent.
My favorite accent is the most annoying accent, which is a Cockney accent.
British. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, British Cockney is absolutely my favorite. Because who doesn't like to talk like this? It's all tight and you can't even understand half the words that are coming out of my mouth. No, that's 100% my favorite accent. I think kind of close to that is, actually no, that's a lie. My most annoying accent is a Boston accent. And like, this is going to sound like a pretty shitty thing to say, but if you have a Boston accent and I can hear it, I immediately think that you're stupid.
I'm gonna redact the comedian's name, but a famous comedian once said, "People say Boston has an accent. Boston doesn't have an accent. It's an entire city of people who decided they're just gonna say words wrong."
Oh, that's pretty true. They're like the French, where the French are just like, yeah, we're gonna ignore letters, except they do the opposite, and they're like, yeah, we're just gonna add like R's and AW's to the end of everything.
Yeah.
I cannot stand a fucking Boston accent. I don't get it.
My favorite accent, I think, to naturally hear, like not impersonating, is a Nordic, like a Swedish or a Norwegian, like of that variety.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I really like Metalocalypse. I don't like it just because of that, but like Metalocalypse is a good example of like the Icelandic or the Scandinavian characters in that show and how they're like, I just have to learn how to play these riffs.
Right.
And like I really enjoy just like the enthusiasm and the way that they voice things, both in and out of their native language, because like the excitement's kind of there both ways. The accent that annoys me the most is probably, probably like just the hardcore Southern where you really can't distinguish. I don't mind like a nice Southern belle, classy Southern accent.
A Southern belle.
But when you got
I like when guys talk with a Southern belle accent.
when you got like the
goodness.
the boomhauer from King of the Hill,
Right.
That level of Southern accent is just like, come on, man. Did you ever speak regular? Like, how did this happen? How did this become?
Did you ever go to school? No.
Did
I'm
you
not
ever go
surprised.
to school?
I don't know. I kind of like the Southern accents. One that I really love is a fake Elvis accent.
Oh, fake Elvis is better than real Elvis.
Absolutely, because they always make Elvis sound like a drunk. like anyone who ever does Elvis
There
is
was a
always like,
time.
oh, sometimes kind of like, look out, man, because I'm crazy and blah blah blah.
you actually really hit that lookout man like really well.
That's what I'm saying.
Speaking of musicians and that, I had a guy. When in high school, I was really into ZZ Top.
Well, who wasn't into ZZ Top during high school?
I actually
Just kidding.
a lot of people our age.
What? What? No,
What? I'm 48.
that's true. I am 48.
But I was really into ZZ Top. I saw them live one time.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool.
That's actually how I got so into them, is that I knew of ZZ Top previous, but then when I saw them live, I was like, oh my gosh, they're so good live. And I will, no joke, the most surprising concert that's probably in my top 10 is ZZ Top. Just because with like who I talk about musically regularly, I don't think people would expect that. But ZZ Top is one of the best concerts I've ever been to.
I believe it.
But one of my friends, every time I would listen to ZZ Top, and he would refuse. Like, you know how sometimes you make jokes and I go, Pat, stop, but you can read that, like, I'm okay with you continuing to make those jokes?
What? No, I just make them anyway.
Right. But I feel like you could read if I was, like, annoyed enough.
Yeah, no,
Right?
that's true.
So the thing is that every time I would want to listen to ZZ Top, throughout the entire song, and I'm not joking when I say the entire song, he would just be sitting in the backseat of my car and going,
That's awesome.
and there were times like I would always laugh at first and go along with it, and then about halfway through the song, the reason why I'm not joking when I say that he would do it the entire time is like halfway through the song, I'd have to go like, hey man, I kind of want to hear like at least one chorus of this song.
Hey, I want to hear the part when he goes, how, but you're not letting it happen
I was like,
naturally.
well, LaGrange is not on the CD. I don't have that one. I'm sorry. I didn't have an auxiliary at this time.
What?
Or Bluetooth.
Is it even worth it to listen to anything other than LaGrange?
Yes, ZZ Top has so many hits.
Name 16.
Whoa, wait, hold on. I was
Can't
ready to
do
go.
it.
I
You
was
can't
ready to
do
go.
it.
Okay, hold on. You've got LaGrange still counts as one. Cool Sunglasses. Give Me All Your Lovin'. Legs. Sharp Dressed Man. And those are like the big ones. I feel like I'm missing one though.
LaGrange.
No, it's not that one. Those were the big hits.
LaGrange 2. Why isn't Despacito 2 dropped yet?
Because they need time. Justin Bieber has to relearn Spanish. He learned Spanish for that song and then forgot.
And then forgot it all.
Yeah.
Classic Justin.
I learned Spanish for high school and then forgot most of it.
Yeah, but like in high school, do you really learn Spanish?
I actually legitimately used Spanish while I was in high school, and then after I graduated, I had very little use of it.
Nice.
The reason why I forgot it isn't because I didn't try. I knew Spanish was valuable at the time, and I worked at McDonald's at the time, and we had a recognizable amount of Hispanic employees,
Right.
who just, it's not even that they couldn't speak English, it's just they spoke mostly
They
in
just
Spanish.
didn't want to.
Well, no, they spoke Spanish to themselves, and they were clearly more comfortable with the language, so I would, when situationally appropriate, try to communicate with them in Spanish, you know?
Right.
Because if
You really just wanted to know if they were making fun of you or not.
No, I knew a handful of words. I could have picked it out. But when I could, and if I knew that I'd be because I never approached them in Spanish. I always approached them in English.
Right.
And if they felt like they were having trouble responding or the conversation was hindered by it, then I'd make my best effort to talk to them in Spanish.
Right.
But I actually was using it in high school regularly.
That's pretty cool.
And then college happened, and I have not needed to use it. Which, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I just haven't put well, no. I was in Shippensburg. There's nobody in Shippensburg.
We had a lot
Spanish.
of Mexicans in Shippensburg.
No, we didn't.
Yep. Mexicans were all over the place.
Shippensburg is not the most diverse community, to say the least.
What? I don't believe that. There's white people and... So that's the most surprising top concert for you is seeing ZZ Top live?
I think that's the one that people would be most surprised is in my top 10. I don't think a lot of people would expect my number one either, but
What's your number one?
my number one is when I saw Dawes at Brooklyn Steel in Brooklyn, New York.
Nice.
I roughly knew their music going into it, and then they played one of their songs, "A Little Bit of Everything," and I cried because I just wasn't emotionally ready for it.
Yeah, you
and
played
then,
it for me.
Yeah, and Josh proceeded to make fun of me for it, my roommate at the time. And then he made fun of me again because I later admitted that I cried twice that night. And it was during the encore when they played all your favorite bands, and the lead singer does a pause. I showed you this part too. The lead singer does a pause where he lets the audience sing the song. And I just felt like this was really early on in my time in New York. It was a time when I kind of felt a little out of my element and a little weird, and just all these people around me singing the same lyrics to this song about how we just hope the best for everybody just because. And I let it out. I let it out, man.
I feel that. That's why I love concerts so much, is you're just around good people listening to good music, and it's just like, yeah, this is a fun time. And that's why I'm always open to going to them, even for like some bands that like I realistically have no idea like what kind of music they make.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause it's just like, yeah, like my buddy's going to this concert and he's going to have a fun time, and if he's having a fun time, then I'm going to have a fun time. And we all have a fun time. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, absolutely. Actually a good question for you is why do you enjoy, this is going to sound so like confrontational, but I clearly don't mean it that way. But like
Change who you are as a person.
Change who you are as a person. Why do you enjoy pre-gaming or not pre-gaming, that's not the right word, tailgating concerts? Because and I had no problem with it because I'm pretty relaxed when it comes to that environment and I don't really care too much.
Yeah.
But when we went to the birthday show and you were like, I don't mind if we miss like the first two bands.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, dude, we gotta see these bands. My preference, like if I had driven or whatever, I would have gone, nah, dude, let's just get right in there.
Right. See, and I would have been fine with that, but sometimes it's cool to just be like, yeah, we're out having a good time. There's like still people having fun around us, but like we're able to be separate from everyone else. So we're still able to, be in a nice, relaxed, comfortable zone where, we're not hindered by, having to, watch our language because kids are around or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, there's no fun police in a sense.
Right.
Besides the real police.
Yeah, the real police who very much are there and watching.
But
actually, not always.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, I do enjoy just going there and sitting and listening to music. I mean, I know at one point during the birthday show, you got up and you were like, oh, I'm going to go see this stage. And I was like, okay, I'm going to fucking chill here.
Oh, yeah, when you're actually inside, like, with the exception of, like, some of my real big favorite bands, I don't care how people take in the music.
Right.
Everybody should feel free to enjoy the music as they see fit. Right. For me personally, it's just the whole, like, I spent the money, I want to get all these bands.
Right. No, I feel that.
And it's not even like we spent some exuberant amount. Just, I always, like, it was my position with the radio station. I loved discovering new music. Mm-hmm. Or getting the chance to see bands that I haven't gotten the chance to see before. What's a band that you haven't seen that you would really like to see?
Queen. But with Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Although props to Queen they keep up the grind,
Yeah, that's true. They're still keeping it alive. The band that I would really love to see that I haven't seen, maybe the Struts.
I saw the Struts in their very first show in America.
That's pretty cool. Who else? I would love to see AC/DC. They're one of my favorite bands of all time.
If they tour again, man.
I wish I could have seen the Beastie Boys.
That would have been cool.
I don't know who else. There's absolutely probably people that I would love to see that I haven't seen, but I know so much music right now that's like, well, I would love to see that person, and I'd love to see this person and this person, but not that person, not them.
No, forget those people.
Yeah, I know there is. There's my favorite rapper of all time, E-Double. He passed away, I think, just over a year and a half ago. But I just am upset that I haven't seen him live, and I really wanted to.
Yeah.
So E-Double, if you're listening from anywhere in the ether, sorry. But yeah, what about you? What's a band that you would love to see?
I am very fortunate enough to have seen most of the acts that I have always wanted to see. The last one on my list of like top bands that are like one of my favorites that I haven't seen yet is the Hives.
Okay.
I would absolutely love to see the Hives tear it up on stage because they go hard.
Right.
And I also really like the Hives aesthetic of like they have a dress code and they always have to be seen looking sharp, and they always go about this. I don't believe that in real life they're very cocky people, because in real life they seem very soft spoken. They seem like they don't say a lot.
Right.
But on stage when they just turn it up to 11, absolutely love people that can do that, and just like they have this persona on stage. So the Hives, seeing Sloth Rust again would be pretty cool.
Well, you've already seen them, though.
Yeah.
There's people we haven't seen.
Right, I know. Well, I'm just going to fall to my death. Playing Call of Duty off mic, by the way, just for
Yeah.
anybody.
Been doing it the whole time.
Yeah, but I didn't know if you heard the clicks and the clacks in the
we're all
background.
right.
Pearl Jam, love to see them. I haven't seen them yet. And according to one of my friends, it's the ultimate experience.
That's the name of the band?
No, Pearl Jam is the ultimate experience.
Pearl Jam.
Okay. She argues that seeing Pearl Jam, and of course it has to be like front row, like close to the band as possible.
Duh, because how else could you listen to music?
Well, here's the thing. I argued with her. I was like, what if, like, the experience I had with Dawes, she was saying that I would have that with Pearl Jam, but better. And I was like, but what if I go see Pearl Jam and I have a great time, and it's great, but it's just like I don't have that same connection as I did with Dawes, because that's something that you can't force. It just has to be there.
Yeah.
And her response, whenever I was trying to use this logic, it was very Pat Haley-esque of, yeah, I mean, that could happen, but it won't, so just do it.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. Well, hopefully later on in the future, the next time you come back, you'll have seen one of these acts.
I'd absolutely love to.
Yeah, well, check this tour schedule. We'll see you guys all on tour. We're not going on tour, but
check
at the
us
music.
out on the Snoop Diggity Dingus and the Stoopcast. It's
Dingus and the Stoopcast.
Check us out on the Dingus and the Stoopcast live tour, where we pull out it's just a pair of steps on a ramp, and we just sit there and we talk down to you.
And we just talk.
Yep.
But thank you for joining us. I have been Docter PHd, otherwise known as Pat Haley, here with my guest Satchmo, otherwise known as
Sam Fritz.
Sam Fritz. What a guy. Thank you for joining me. I will see you next time.